What's up, YouTube? We got a yo-yo review to do today. This is the Sugar Glider from OneDrop Yo-Yos. So the Sugar Glider is the newest release, actually the newest budget release for OneDrop Yo-Yos. Solid colors of this are going to start at $50. $50. This thing is awesome. Much like the Vanguard, the Sugar Glider will be releasing $50, solid colors. That's tremendous. Just buy one. Seriously, $50, great price. And the splashes are great too. And if you want to pay whatever it is, $20 more for a splash, I'd suggest that too. Because look how good that is. Look how good it is. Let's get into the specs. Weight, 64.8 grams. A 45.5 millimeter width, very wide. 54 millimeter diameter, sort of a smaller diameter, or on the average side of diameters, I guess. Flow groove response system, gap width is 4.7 millimeters, so you get a thicker string there. One drop flat ball bearing, 6061 aluminum with a light bead blast. They're a little more bead blasted if you look at the photos. The solid colors are a little more bead blasted, and it is a tapped axle. So basically, this is the refined version of the second prototype of what ended up becoming the Cascade. So you know, the Cascade's been out for a long time. I think it came out in 2012, and the second prototype was known internally as the Glider, and then it got a little more tweaked and refined at yada yada yada, and then it eventually became the Cascade. The Glider, now the Cascade's sort of more, it's way more rounded. This is more wing-shaped. And honestly, I would really compare this more to sort of a more refined Summit, or 7 Summits, which is what this is, but sort of a more refined Summit. It's not quite as big of a yo-yo as the Summit, but it's about as wide as the Summit, and it's got a similar profile and cup design. There's a little more rim weight, and it's a little more out of the cup. But it's still very OneDrop. It's very OneDrop in the way that the weight is distributed, and that you get that sort of step down, and then that will kind of bulge out. OneDrop's big about that type of rim weight, and I really like it. I think this plays amazing, and for $50, if this is going to be your first OneDrop, this is going to kind of give you a great step into, like, this is what OneDrop yo-yos are all about, because a lot of the OneDrop yo-yos kind of have this sort of type of weight distribution and feel a lot like this. Plus you get the kind of ridges in there to help grinding surface out a little bit. Plus aesthetically it just looks good, I think. And it's kind of a nice open cup there, which is why I really think the splashes look good, because it's really just sort of a blank canvas there to accept the splashes. And I think particularly this side of mine looks really, really good. But all the splashes look good. I've been looking at them online for days and days. I've actually had this early. I've had this for a few weeks now, and I've been playing the crap out of it. I probably shared a picture or two on Instagram after they shared it, but man, is this thing good. And at $50, another like $50 range OneDrop, I mean, I can't say enough good things about it. Really, really like OneDrops, and a OneDrop this good at this price is really, there's only been 2 of them so far, and now there's 3. So that's probably enough of me just blabbing on about it. Let's go ahead and throw it around a little bit. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Alright, OneDrop Sugar Glider. Feels exactly the way you would expect a OneDrop to feel, just with that sort of mid-weight. Not super powerful, pretty chill, but still plenty of spin time. Not really a competition spec yo-yo, not like a ton of power, really, but it's really pretty stable. And can really kind of just, you know, get through whatever you're trying to get through. So very cool in that regard. I like that OneDrops are very like functional, easy to use yo-yos, but also feel very different from like sort of just the stiff, all power on the rims yo-yos. Because I mean, that's what a lot of people put out. The weight sort of being distributed away from the rims too kind of ends with sort of a smoother feeling yo-yo. This is 10 out of 10 smooth on grinds. And I've taken this apart, put it back together. I'm taking it apart again. The grinds are good. Really nice with the ridges they got in there. Feels really cool. Grinds really well. very controllable. Just great. I like the size of this. It's a good size, easy to catch. The cup design, while not necessarily, you don't really think of one-drop yo-yos as finger spin yo-yos. There's really nothing to stop you here. Really nothing to stop you there. And you can get okay finger spins if that's what you're looking for. With the one-drop flat bearing, I personally do like the one-drop flat bearing, and actually in the sort of wider gap, I actually think it works really, really well. Because with a wider gap, oftentimes it's kind of tougher to bind unless you're using a really thick string. But with this, because you got a flat bearing, it's not always directly centered and keeping it away from the response. But you have more space in there to kind of let the string go around. It feels really nice. The whole package is just a nice package. And at $50, I really think that it really does a good job of like sort of just kind of giving you a show of what one-drop yo-yos are all about. And at the same time, you know, just being a good one-drop yo-yo anyway. Nothing really bad to say about how it plays. I mean, it just plays really nice, really good, and it's just a really fun yo-yo. It really, really is nice. But let's go ahead and put it on the desk. We'll take it apart. I'll show you guys the insides. All right, let's take the sugar glider apart. So, like with all yo-yos, I only review them with zip lines on them. It's just for consistency, but it comes with your standard one-drop yellow string. That's very fine. Always good for the first throw. Nice and smooth, just good. One-drop flat bearing, tapped axle, like I said. Flat bearing spins good, spins quiet, spins long. No complaints from me there. As you can see, there's actually quite a bit going on here with the machining, so it kind of swoops up a little bit and then rounds over before it gets to the response. Just very smooth play, very smooth off the string, and the one-drop flow groove response pads are always a favorite of mine, so I really have no complaints at all about that. The machining is great. It came apart nice and smooth, goes back together nice and smooth, and that's how it goes. See that? See how nice that is? Like, that's nice. That's real nice. Pretty decently long axle too. I don't think it's going to strip. This would be a great everyday carry yo-yo. At $50 too. I mean, it's right in that sweet spot of yo-yo price. $50 seems to sort of be the like, doesn't get much better than that, and it can get a lot worse at less than $50. So, $50, you know, great price point for a great yo-yo that could literally be the only yo-yo you ever play because it's that good. Great sort of everyday carry. It's going to be hard to find somebody that literally just doesn't like this unless they're looking for like a all-out competition yo-yo, because this is a little bit more chill, a little bit laid back, but man, is it good. Let's do pros and cons. Pros, $50 for solids, but there's also beautiful splashes that also aren't really considering all that bad. I think they're, what, 65, 70, something like that? Great price point for all this stuff. Really nice, just simple, but very one-drop design. I like that a lot. Finish is very good. I like that one-drop's been blasting things a little bit more. It maybe the splashes maybe aren't as blasted as the solid colors, but it really kind of, you can tell if you A/B them between like an older like pure matte finish and one that's a little more blasted. The difference is night and day with how much better the blasted ones grind, and I really like that. The ridges in there look good too. Not a lot of companies do stuff like this so much, but one-drop, when they do it, you know, they really just aesthetically, it's very pleasing. It's also a pretty, I don't want to say complicated shape, but there's more going on than initially meets the eye. You get a little swoop, you get a little roundage over there, and it all just kind of fits into what the package is and just how nice this plays and all the attention to detail that went into kind of making sure that every aspect of the yo-yo plays good. As far as cons are concerned, there's really not any. I mean, it's not the easiest yo-yo to finger spin. You're not really going to get it to do like a lot of horizontal or finger spinny type stuff. You have to change the bearing to do horizontal stuff because this is going to drag. And, you know, so I guess for horizontal type play and finger spins and stuff like that, it's not going to be the best yo-yo for that, if that's a downside. But that's really it, and onedrop doesn't usually design stuff with finger spins or horizontal necessarily in mind. It's more of a flow kind of intricate play, and I feel like this handles that really well, and it really also handles some speed pretty well too, just because of how much weight there is and how it's distributed. Although it's still a pretty light yo-yo at 64.8 grams, which I think is really right around a sweet spot, around 65, 66 grams. I've said this a ton. Sweet spot for yo-yos, and this really plays nice on the string, feels nice, and man, I just really like it. I really like it a lot. onedrop has put out, what, 3-4 yo-yos already this year? At least 3, and they've been bangers. So super digging the Sugar Glider. It drops today. If you're watching this the day this video drops, it drops today, like midnight. There may actually already be some on onedrop's site, but you know, full release is tonight or tomorrow, depending on how late you want to stay up. And great yo-yo. Go pick one up. Gonna love it. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. Cheers to you. I'll see you next time.